Okay, this is not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. Guys, I thought this was going to be so bad. I mean, I haven't talked to you yet. You haven't seen it, so you might hate it. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Walden. And in between parts, if you're a part of my Belgian Waffle members or up, we built out these emergency power stations, which at this point are already full, and just did some detailing in this area, trying to transition from this kind of residential area into more of a commercial industrial area as we continue to grow out this port. Now, before we can grow this port out any further, we are going to have to deal with the fact that this road is constantly dealing with traffic. It's gone now, but it keeps appearing as people move in and move out of this area, especially when buildings here begin to level up. So we're going to need to figure out a better connection over to this section of the map. To address the traffic that we keep seeing along this route here, I want to build a highway connection. The question, I guess, really is, do we switch this whole intersection up, which I think I might want to do, so that we have a highway and we still maintain like the old road, if you will. So I'm thinking I want my highway to marry into a 4-lane road. Now, this is a pretty decent hill, but this is kind of our flat area. So let's do this. Let's grab this height. I'm going to reduce the brush size a bit, and I'm just going to start to flatten out kind of this section, just like this. We'll even bring it over a little bit. If I reduce it even further, we can really get a nice little flat section here. And I think this is going to be where we have part of our highway. I'm going to do parallel mode. And I'm going to keep it flat to the ground. I just want to go like this and have a little section here that we're going to start with, right? So that's going to be part of that highway. Now, I'm thinking the portion of the highway that's driving in, I'm thinking that is going to curve into this road here. Yeah, I think we're going to send this up a little bit further. And then we're going to curve this road directly into here. And that highway is going to end at this intersection. But then we're going to change this portion of road in Cargo City. I'm going to let this bus, which currently has nobody on it. Just kidding. That bus is not going to finish its route. We're just going to get rid of this whole section. And then I want to upgrade this into a 4-lane, maybe a 4-lane divided is actually what I'm going to do. We're going to send this road with a curve out this direction. We'll send it straight over this way. And then we're going to curve it right back up and into this industrial sector. Do we want to keep it like that? I think I do. I'm fine with that connection. That looks pretty good. There needs to be way more detailing over here. Goodness gracious. But that allows for people to turn off this highway. We've got 4 lanes. I actually think we'll do some of this lane mathematics kind of early on. I might upgrade this into a 4-lane road here. If I was to go this direction, you'd have those 2 lanes that then turn to that side. I think the turn is better if we put it here. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so now we've got this 4-way intersection. It sends some people in. You can go straight over here towards the port. You have 2 lanes that are dedicated for this industrial area, which, as I said, is going to continue to grow. But then we have to figure out how we're going to get this other portion of highway to connect in. And I think that's going to connect in kind of, honestly, just right off of this other road. If I was to send this straight, just like this, connect it right up and in. We're going to rotate this around, all around. It's got a bit of a hill here, but it's not too bad. I actually might rebuild this with constant slope on. I think that's actually going to be more helpful to connect into here. How does that look? Oh, it gives it a wall, which honestly, I wasn't planning to give it a wall, but I don't hate it. If I turn all these off, is it going to keep that wall? I don't actually know. It does. It does. Then let's leave it. I'd love to straighten out these intersections, but I'm not sure I know how I can do that with this current setup. Does this get a roundabout? Or is that too much? That might be too much. Like, I don't actually know if we need a roundabout here. I am going to, I think, upgrade this initial portion of this road to only be 2 lanes. Maybe because this is cutting through the ground here, it'll only be 2 lanes. Let's reduce the size of this brush. And actually, I'm going to grab right here and come right here to where the intersection is and just give this a nice slope, just like so. And then if I come in here with our smooth tool, we can smooth around it and make it look a little bit nicer. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. That looks pretty decent. It probably needs a touch of smoothing. If I was just to go from here, one quick run of the brush all the way over. Does that look better? That does look better. Okay. And now the key walls or the retaining walls are not nearly as high. We've got a turn here. You can't go this way, but you can come out this direction, which means that the people filling into this area are going to go down this road. But then if you're coming out of this area, you can get back on the highway pretty quickly, which is going to be really helpful for the people who work over here. It doesn't solve the issue, though, of people who work over here at our cargo port. And I would want them to have an easy way to get over onto the highway. And I think where I'm going to do that is right here. I want to take... We've already got this natural dip, right, for our train. So I'm wondering if I was to take this road, like I want you to be a bridge. Yeah, here we go, here we go. I am going to need you to go over top of this road, though, so how do we make that happen? So we have to get to 8.5, or 875. So let's come over here. Let's get to 875, right? It is a 10% grade change, which isn't ideal. What if I was to come further back with this? Bring this to 875. Ooh, right there, it keeps that intersection straight, which I do like. Let's place this right here. Ah, hold on. It's got to be straight. Give me the option to make that intersection straight. Yeah, right there. What does that look like? Does that look terrible? That's not the worst. Hold on, hold on. Let's not get too excited yet. But I do think this isn't the absolute worst. Now, this road here definitely needs some love. Let's just get rid of this and this. That's not terrible. This section, though, definitely would have far less in terms of crosswalks. I also don't necessarily think this needs a light at all, which means that you wouldn't even need that intersection. Because if you're here, you can't turn that way. So it's just a pull-off road. Now, with that pull-off road, though, I think I want to add a dedicated lane for that, which we can do with the 5-lane asymmetrical. If we were to come in here and upgrade, I think we upgrade just like this. So we have 2 lanes going forward, 1 lane that turns into the neighborhood. Realizing this house is very close to this port, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. I'm half tempted to get rid of it. It's just too close to that port. Sorry, those who live there. You got to go. You got to go. I don't want you living that close to the port. We're even going to put some more trees there just to protect this house here, 12 Spruce Street. All right, so now we've got a dedicated lane that comes over this direction, and then I'm going to have this reconnect into our highway. If we curve and we go over this way just like this, and I bring this down to the ground, we're not going to be high enough. But really, I want to have my 3-lane come to about here. So I think the next step is going to be this. Let's grab this road, place this here, get our 3-lane highway, upgrade this section, get rid of this, and then let's see if I can go from this direction over to here. If I turn on snap to... Really, this needs to come up to 8.5, 875, and then it can just connect straight on in. And then we can rotate this direction. Now we've got a bridge. It crosses over that road there, but it gives a dedicated lane for traffic coming from the port to get on the highway quickly and efficiently. But what I like is we're still maintaining these local roads, which I think is valuable. Now we don't need exits off of here because this is just connected down this way. And we don't really need, this is overwhelmingly an exit. Since we're at the edge of the map, there's not going to be much else that needs to happen here. I'm just seeing if I think there'd be any other benefit. I mean, we could have something that comes off of here into here, but honestly, you come down into this area, you turn around. I think that's all pretty good. Let's upgrade this to have retaining walls. I think it's just going to look a bit nicer on both of those sides. Or if I do the actual retaining wall, what does that look like? Over there, that looks nice. And just adjust a little bit there so those lines look nice. Get rid of these trees. We don't need either of these. Honestly, this needs a retaining wall. It doesn't need a key. It needs a retaining wall all the way across. Just like so. So now we've got a dedicated entrance and exit, which is really going to serve this area well. And then when we fill this out with industrial, this is going to make way more sense. I already like this. All right. Now we got to get this highway basically all the way down here. See, look, yeah, we've got more traffic. It keeps happening. And it's going both directions. So obviously this small little road, what is this called? Fieldcrest Street, is not enough to keep up with how many people are using this road. All right. Go back to our 3 lanes. Go back to the curve tool. Go back to parallel. I do think we need to do some terraforming work first. If I increase this to 80, we grab this height. And we begin to curve this height to kind of come along the side of this road. Right? We bring this out this direction. It then begins to go downhill. But I think we actually leave it elevated. We leave it elevated so it comes to this other side. And we get a natural bump above the railroad. I like that. Okay. Then let's grab this height here. Let's go back to 80. And we're just going to bring this maybe down this direction and curve it around and over. Just like so. Now we're going to be back down at the ground level, right? Because if I'm here, it's 3.1. Yeah, it's only 3.1. Then this needs to figure out its connection there. Okay. Let's build the next segment. We're going to do this like in pieces because I think if I just slap it down, it's not going to look great. So let's go ahead and curve this guy kind of wide. We'll turn off guidelines. Curve this guy kind of wide this direction. And in this area, I think it is going to be pretty close to the main road. But as it pulls away, we have opportunities to make intersections. Before we go further then, let's actually fix this. If we build it right the first time, that's going to make it so much easier to build it, or to build the rest of this and make it all look good. And I'm actually going to bring this land a little bit closer to the train. If I go right to here, now all of a sudden it's not able to do what it needs to do. Well, why is that? If I turn off constant slope, then we can get it. Okay, great. Then we'll turn constant slope back on. I guess I wanted to connect kind of into this intersection here. So maybe what we need to do is, so it's mirroring the road, but we're protecting this natural area, which we're going to set aside as a park. We've got an opportunity now to create some smaller entrances and exits. We could easily place an entrance and exit here by the university. We could also place a second one right here. Like we've got some options. And then we can easily start placing one like, you know, right here to fill in this area. Right here could be another 4-way interchange to connect both sides. Okay, this is working. This is working. Now it's the hard part. Got some people dying. Just ignore them. I think I'm going to go ahead and just delete what's already here. Really what I want to do is I want to bring 2-lane highway straight on over here. And I want to have, I guess that highway's going to connect all the way over here to this very large roundabout. Yeah, we got to just kind of delete all this. So I think we go ahead and just say goodbye to all this. We don't actually need this road right now. We haven't actually built anything connected to that train station. I'm going to get rid of all of these entrances and exits. And we're going to back this all the way up. I want to send it straight to kind of match the angle of this other road here. Just like so. And then we need to get this over top. So we're going to turn angle back on, which we can accomplish right here. Only 2% grade change. That's not bad at all. And then we're going to get a slight curve going here. So I'm going to go from here, kind of over to here. And can I just send this straight on over? What would I need to do to get this to go all the way over? Just go up a little bit more. Not bad. Turn off angle. And turn off snap to existing. And we're just going to try to marry these together. It's going to require a little bit of extra work. We're going to figure that out in a moment. But at the moment, we'll start with that, and then we'll fix this little interchange here in a sec. All right, so now we've got connection that goes all the way down that way. I probably need to pause it because I've severed the only power and water connection this entire city has. All right, so I guess we're going to keep it paused. I don't want to lose all those people. Now we got to figure out how this all works. So really, I just need a transfer from this road over onto this road. Is this wonky looking, or is it just because there was a hill? No, it's just because there was a hill. I'm fine with leaving this all elevated because we're going to have so much development here that it actually would maybe make sense to have that elevated. If we go ahead and upgrade just this road here, I want to just shimmy it so that the turn-off lane is positioned on that side. Oh, there we go. Makes it a little bumpy, but that's okay. Now we've got a clear connection here that you can send over onto this new highway. So let's grab our 1-lane road, reduce this back down to connecting to this guy. I don't need parallel on for this. I'm just going to go like this. Connect it right up and in. Only 3% grade change. Like, that's not bad at all. But here, we're just going to go ahead and place it. It then tells me everything from here can be reduced to 2 lanes, right? Which already starts to fix that connection we have into this roundabout. Then we need to do the same thing here and connect right back up into this highway. So let's grab our 1-lane highway exit, get our curve tool going. I'm going to send that back just a little bit further if I can. I don't know if I actually can. Place that right here. Again, gives me the opportunity to reduce all of this to 2 lanes, connecting right up into this roundabout. Gives a natural end to that highway because we already have a city section built right here. There will be other highway connections and highway interchanges to feed this area as it grows, but for now that works pretty well. Do I keep this connection, this Alderwood highway, or do I get rid of that and just build those connections onto the highway itself? I think I get rid of this. I think we do just a normal kind of diamond interchange from here. I guess technically I'd want this to be upgraded to a 3-lane. And if I do that, then this could be upgraded into a 3 and a 2. And then I think I'm going to use Move It just to make this look a little bit nicer. Like if I come over here, if I just begin to angle these towards this main road, I think it's going to fix a lot of the wonkiness we're seeing. We're also going to get rid of the bike lane right here. This will just be a turnaround because now we're going to feed into a highway. So I wouldn't want you to drive onto the highway. I know they won't in the game, but I want to remove that option entirely. I think I'm going to do a little bit of touch up here. I'm also going to remove this crosswalk. I don't think you need it. There's really nowhere for you to go here. At this point, we're becoming very much car-centric. So let's see. If I am driving down this highway, I can get off this road, I can come to the roundabout, loop around, and head towards Emerson Highway. If I am driving down this way, I can head straight, I can head off this way, but I can't actually get over into this area, which is going to be a problem. So really right now, I've got a connection here where you can go straight in, or you could head over this way, and I guess you can still use this to turn around and come down this way. So going south, we're covering the right and the left turn by using that roundabout. Going east, we're able to cover both the right and the left using the roundabout. Going north, I'm only going to the east, but I'm not actually going to the west at all. I wonder if there's a second interchange right over here at this section of Briarwood as a way of dividing the traffic up a little bit. Is that stupid? This side you can go right, but you can't go left. So I also need a left connection here off Sheffield. We already know that this one works all around. Because really, I guess this Kings Highway could come maybe underneath and connect up here into this guy. Let's see if that's even possible. If I grab a 1-lane highway. I think we turn everything off. I somehow want to get this to come off of here, connect under this way, but also then be able to go high enough, connect around and over. Can we make this work? Maybe this here does need to get a little bit of extra detailing with this key wall, right? Now we've got 2 lanes leading into 1 though. So we're going to want to upgrade this into a 2-lane road. If I just go like this, what does that do for me? Good or bad? Not bad. Not terrible. But now we've got 2 and 2, which really means that this then would need to be a 4-lane. But if that's a 4-lane, this is going to need to upgrade into a much larger 4-lane road. Yeah, we need this. So now you've got 4 lanes. You've got 1 that is dedicated to turning this way. You've got 2 that are dedicated to going straight. And you have 1 that's dedicated to turning around and coming out this direction. We really might be overtaxing this highway, but we'll see what happens with it. Let's grab this guy here and just slightly edit some of these curves. So now you've got a means to go left and right from this exit. And I'm actually going to also upgrade this right here into a 2-lane. That way this center lane can go straight or go to the right. That actually looks pretty decent. Okay, so now you can go straight, you can go right, you can go left. Here, as we know, you can go straight, you can go right, or you can use the roundabout to go left. Here, you can go straight, you can go right, and I guess you can use the roundabout to go left. Yes, yes. And then here, you can go straight, you can go right, but you still can't go left. And so what we did for this road is we took the exit and we weaved something through the exit. So realistically, we want to weave something through this exit to head over this direction. I do think it would have to go over top of the road. So let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, this is not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. Guys, I thought this was going to be so bad. I mean, I haven't talked to you yet. You haven't seen it, so you might hate it, but I'm pretty confident it's going to work. What's the height I need to get over here? Is that enough? Yeah, 13.5 is enough. So if I was to wrap this around this way, that works. That works just fine. I think what I'd want to do is upgrade this section here into a 4-lane, but not all of, I mean, that's way overkill. So break that up, upgrade this into a 3-lane, and then it can go back down into a 2-lane. Okay, perfect. Then this guy, we're going to connect to here, and we're going to connect right up into this node right here. What's that? 7.5? Not bad. Okay, so here she is. It's the brand new interchange. She's a little wonky in places. You know, she's not perfect, but we're trying to fit her in with what we've already built. I like this more than totally overhauling a section. So let's just quadruple check all my connections work the way they're supposed to. So if we're coming out of this part of the city, we can obviously go straight. I can go to the right and head down into the downtown, or I can head to the left and head out of the city. If I'm facing this way, I can obviously go straight. I can go to the right, taking this exit over into our new suburban area, or I can take this a little bit more precarious exit over into that section of downtown. If I'm going straight here, I can obviously connect into that area. I can go to the right here, or I use the roundabout to loop back around, and I can head over into the downtown. And then on this direction, I can either go straight, I can head over this direction, or I can use this direction to turn around and head back into the downtown. I guess the only other thought I have is maybe what we want to do is do a 7-lane asymmetrical road, right? We connect this whole thing with 7 lanes, and then we change this section of road into a 3-lane road right here. And then I might need to start moving a few of these just to make this work perfectly. But that way there's a dedicated lane for turning off. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there's the highway. Now we can't unpause yet though, because I've removed this local road, and in removing the local road, I've made it so there's no power connection over there. So because we have a local road, I think what I want to do is I want to put bikes on either side. I'm going to use an asymmetrical road. We're going to curve this out, and we're going to come right from here. I really want to come like kind of from the middle area. You know, it doesn't need to be a perfect curve. It can go just like this. I need bikes because this canal begins to diverge from this location. So if I was to send this road kind of straight up through here, and for the moment we do follow, you know, somewhat closely to the canal. We'll send this straight. Then we'll start doing a light curve here to kind of follow the canal's direction. We'll send it straight again. Now, our contour lines are on. It's just so flat over here. You don't have anything to worry about. We're going to send it right through these trees. We basically need to get it over to there. So I think at this point, it's going to begin to diverge. Then let's continue to upgrade. This is going 2 lanes this direction, bringing people into the city more than bringing them out. We get here and it looks funky. You know what? This whole thing should be an avenue. It should be an avenue. I even wonder, oh man. Okay, hold on, no. It's gonna get bikes. If I do this, can I get grass in the middle and trees? I can. So we're going to go like this and do bike lanes on both sides with a grass median. I know it's kind of a strange way to connect into the roundabout, but why not? I don't think you need any pedestrian connection right there. We'll have these 2 connections here. But now we've got a nice long road that comes all the way along the side. This is the local road. It connects all the way over to here. Now I want to make some slight adjustments and changes to this intersection. We're going to turn off that connection there. I would love if there was a way for me to remove this like opening. I don't want there to be an opening. But with that, do we also remove this and this connection? I think we do. I don't think you need any. There's no reason for you to have pedestrian connections there. Now we are having some issue with our train line being clipped, so I am going to grab this and just scoot it over. It's going to cause me to do a little bit of rework here, but that's okay. That wasn't too bad. Okay, now the train's not clipping, which is great. So we have all this. Now what I want to do is I want to see if I was to grab a bike lane, I would want it to be kind of right from this corner here. Invalid shape. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Hold on. Let's reduce the size of our brush. Let's grab this height and let's make sure this whole area has the same height. We'll then reduce the height of this brush, grab this height, and send it down with a smooth slope. You have to let me do this. Come on. If this goes straight up here, and then we do a curve, turn everything off, I really wanted to connect as close to here as possible. Right, so we have this bike lane that goes along the side here. And then this bike lane, if we connect back up to our connections here, can come behind the back side of these apartments and connect right up here into this bike infrastructure. So you come down and around and you cross there. Or, ooh, better idea. Hold on, better idea. Back both of these up. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to raise this section of road, this section of road, and this section of road. So all of this is raised. Then I'm going to grab this height maybe here. And if I grab this height right here, you're telling me that's the same? There's no way that's the same. Okay, then grab this height. There we go. Grab this. Back all this up underneath this bridged area. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Then get the slope tool. Go from here to here. All right, connecting to here. We're going to send this straight for a moment. Then we're going to curve it underneath of here. Bam. So now you've got an underpass to connect over to this direction. Now, I think there's a lot more we can do here to make this look a little bit nicer. If we give this section here a key and give this section here a key, I then also think we already gave a key to that section. We give a key to this other side as well. And as we smooth this area out, that's going to look way nicer. Grab this height here in the middle, smooth all that out. Then I think right here, because we just gave all this a key, we can back this kind of right up to that section there. Yeah. Smooth all this. So this bike lane ends, and when it ends, you then can use this to connect over and down into this area. Now, we need an additional set of connections here. Why am I more excited about the bike lane than I am about the highway? Goodness gracious. Let's get a curve, and we're going to go just like this, connect this right into that corner. And I'd love to not mess up this tree if that's at all possible. I don't know if it is, though. If I switch to a one-way road, can I do it? I can't. I mean, if that's the case, keep it 2-lane, and then we're just going to place a tree in the middle on our own. We're going to grab a tree. I don't really care what tree it is, but place it right there so you can keep growing. That's great. Now we've got kind of a bike highway that is matching the main highway, but is going along this side road. It does make me think right at this section, before you get too far, we are going to add an additional light right here because we've got this bike infrastructure. And then I guess the question even further becomes, instead of it just being bike infrastructure, do we just make this a whole pedestrian setup? I think I want to turn it this way. Yeah. Turn it like this. There we go. All right, so now it's actually going to work for the pedestrians as well. They can walk off the road here, come down into town, and then you also have this road here that's going this way that's all for the bikes. Okay. I like that. Now, there are some things we've got to fix. Like, I think these trees all need to be backed up a little bit. And then I think we need to do a little bit of work on the trees throughout here as well. I think we just need to add more, frankly. I don't necessarily want too many. All right, we're building out a stronger bike highway. I'm not mad about it. Not mad about it. I'm really going to make this like wooded right there. Okay. If I unpause, it should fix all of the water and power. Beautiful. So let's just look at this. Okay, we've got this new road. Is anybody thinking about taking our highway? Already, tons of people are going to go take that highway. They're also all taking these intersections and these new changes. We've got people on King Street, Cornfield Street, Pine Highway, Sheffield Highway. I don't have anyone coming. No, I do have people coming this direction. Oh, that's great. And then Thornbury Street has both. Can I see what the colors are? Yeah, we have pedestrians, we have bicycles, and we've got vehicles, road vehicles. This has disconnected this train station, which we weren't actually using yet anyway, but now we can absolutely begin to use it. We're going to add bikes on both sides here so that people can connect right into the train. We're going to just give it a slight curve. I think it's going to look a little bit better that way if it's connecting in with a slight curve. Double intersection because you also have the intersection for the train, but it is what it is. That's got to happen. How many people are on this train? Anybody? 44. Not bad. And nobody's waiting. 0 people are waiting here. Okay. So now what we got to do is figure out how this is also connecting into here, because I do think we'd want a connection dedicated to the town. I think that connection could come off of this road. So if we were to, first of all, turn that off, you guys cannot do that. Go straight. There's no turning here. I also just wonder how valuable this road is now that we've got, like, once we get the highway, I don't know if you need this turn-off road. So I'm thinking what we do is we actually go ahead and get rid of it, because we're going to end up putting a highway in here that's going to allow for better connectivity. So let's figure out how that works. I think first I'm going to want to smooth out the land around these 2 sections of highway, because if we don't do that, it's going to look really strange. So I'm going to bring it back pretty far, kind of make like a little triangle shape here. Then I'm just going to grab the smooth tool, grab onto the edge here, and just give this a nice smooth up to the train. What's nice about this too is it's giving us some of that extra height that we don't actually have in such a flat map. Now, I do think I'm going to set up retaining walls all the way to there, right? And then I was to flatten this as close as I can. That's a little bit too much. What if I flatten this to about here? Right? Give me some retaining walls in that section. We'll then smooth all this section here out, and we'll smooth all this section here out. Now, some of this is going to change a little bit. Just bear with me. We need to smooth this out. I'm going to reduce this down to size 40. And I want to begin to kind of push it back a little bit, but I want to be mindful of the train. I don't really want to mess that train connection up that we've got. We're then going to go from here to here and just smooth all this out and fan out along both sides. So it makes a little bit more sense. A lot of terraforming in this episode, but I'm not mad about it, because if you do it right, it can look really decent. Look at that. It can look really decent. Ignore the flashing. That's great. And what's good about this is it kind of keeps it out of the way of our roads. I say that, we're going to find out right now in real time if that's true, because I'm going to try to get another road off of here. If I do a 4-lane... Can I do a 4-lane right here? It looked like I could. I can. Let's turn off bikes. Let's send this road right here. Let's just do it. And then let's see if I can get this to connect up and in. Can I just go right from here over to here? There's got to be a way to do this. I'm confident we can. Can I send this road straight over? I can if I do it to here. Great. Are we against it being a sharp angle like that? Part of me is. Part of me is very much against that. That looks kind of terrible. So what if instead we then were to use the complex curve up to there, and complex curve over to here like so, and then turn everything off and begin to send this down along the side of the rail, just like that. It now gives us another connection there. We've got a more robust intersection here. What we're going to want to see, I do actually think I'm going to want to see this be a 6-lane road. If I turn all this off, can it fit? I can. So because that's a turn lane, we're going to place it right here. This cannot be a 6-lane road. That is not going to work, but I think that's okay. So what we want to do is I want to grab our highway, and I want to get one connection, not parallel, coming from here. That's going to curve down and connect right into there. I mean, that's it right there. That's exactly what I'm looking for, is that connection. It's only a 5% grade change. It's not too bad. And if we were to raise this into a bridge the whole way, it wouldn't look as terrible. So that comes into here. Let's change this up a little bit in that I don't want any traffic lights. I also don't want any crosswalks here. There's just no need for it. But now you've got one lane coming in. These other 2 lanes can continue through. It is going to cause an issue where you've really got to merge quickly, which I don't love, but you got to do what you got to do. Then the same thing can happen here, where we were to take this road and we were to curve it up, just like so. Again, turn off the automatic light, turn off all of the crosswalks. We don't need them. It means I would want to try and upgrade this to a 3-lane. Oh no, I guess I don't. I want to upgrade it to an asymmetrical. How's that look? Can she do it? She can. Bam. Dedicated turn lane. People are already starting to take this road. They're not exactly going down this exit just yet, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. How's the bumps and lumpies and bumpies looking? It's a little much. It is a little much. I do think I have to fix that now before things get crazy. I think the better way to play this road would be to send it along the side of the highway for a moment. Right? And then from here, where we're basically flat, we can connect up and in. We'll send a road out straight here. We'll send a road out straight here. Upgrade this section into a 4-lane just briefly. If we snap to the existing, perfect. Get rid of these guys. And better yet, I'm just going to rebuild this whole road. But we already know if we come from here up to here and connect right up and in, it's not bad. That's not too bad. Just like so. All right. Return these things back off. Get rid of the lights. Get rid of the crosswalks. We also want to turn off any turn there. This is a dedicated road to turn onto the highway from this direction. We still have traffic here. But I think as this begins to sort itself out, we're going to get rid of all the people coming from over this direction. Oh, you know what? I got to turn back on that turn because I removed the exit. You're going to have a lot of people streaming in, which does give me a little bit of pause when it comes to people turning out. But once we get the highway connection over here, it's going to alleviate people wanting to turn to the right. And I think the way we do that is this. Extend this bridge even further back. Let's use our terraforming. Let's grab this height here and let's send it underneath. Just like so. Can I slip another road underneath here? I can. How does that feel? Because then if this was upgraded into a 2-lane road, right? We get this, we upgrade this into 2 lanes. It's just insanely steep, which I don't love. But we can go ahead and start lowering that back down. There's no reason for it to be so steep. If I grab this, if I connect to existing, I basically want to turn this over this direction. You're now saying clearance too low, which I don't appreciate considering you built just fine moments ago. If I was to bring you over to here, could I connect you up and in? I think I could. I think I could just fine. Right here would be the 180. A little bit far, in my opinion. But what we could do instead is nice little complex curve here. Bam. Briefly give an upgraded 4-lane connection point here. We'll use move it and manipulation to just fix this little section. All around it's not terrible. I do think there could be some small improvements and maybe we figure those out as we keep building. But now we've already got people going straight here, which means we're going to start alleviating the need for people to turn to the left. Because you can get on the highway, you can get on the highway this way or this way, and you can get off the highway this way. What's my next connection? If I'm here, I can't actually get off to go down. So what I do, here's what I do with that. Here's what I do with that. That's simple. We grab this, we bring it down, maybe to here, and we bring it over, just like this. It's saying that the clearance is too... It's not right. Okay, hold on. It's because I changed the height of this road, which I really should have left it be. I shouldn't have messed with it, but if I drag this back and just put it up a few notches, I might be fine to ignore it. So we're going to bring this down this way. We're going to bring it all the way over here, and then we're going to connect it up and in. But I got to get the right angle here to kind of mirror what's going on next door. There we go. There we go. Look at that. So now if you're coming down this road, you can get off and you can go here to then go into the city. You can also get on going this direction. And if I'm looking here, you can get off going this direction, or you can get on going this direction. I mean, is it the most pretty interchange you've ever seen? Absolutely not. And I do think there are areas like this where I really need to see the curve kind of pull out a bit more. Like it's just not round enough. If we were to give this section a key wall, or a retaining wall, excuse me, if we were also to come here and go ahead and just drop this line here a little bit, because I think it has like a bump. I'd rather it be smooth all the way through. We can also do a key wall in this one. And now I just need to come in here and smooth all this. If we can smooth it, then it's going to look perfect. Now this little section here does have... Ignore those tree textures, that's bad. This little section here does have a little bit of wonkiness. Can I just raise this and bring back that line? If those two white lines can touch, that's perfect. And actually, I'm going to go even further just to totally flatten it out. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I would love to rebuild. Ugh, I'm going to do it. Is this really stupid for me to rebuild this section? 100%. Because I'm not going to be able to get this road back in here without anarchy. I just feel it. But what I really want to see is I want to see a road that comes like this and connects up and in. Oh my God, shut up. We did it without anarchy. And it actually looks pretty decent. A little bit of a bump. Not too bad. Do we give this a retaining wall too? Kind of like, why not? No? That's perfect. That's perfect. So now we've got more than enough access everywhere. Let's just see this intersection run. We do still have a number of people who are turning to the right if we are facing the direction of the road. Let's watch what's going to happen here. We still have a lot of people who are merging over to get off the highway. Once they clear out, though, there is going to be enough space for the cars in the downtown to move. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not a fast intersection by any means. Let's see, all that clears out. Then you got a few opportunities there for people to pull out. That's perfect. The traffic here's almost gone. Look at that. Look at that. And now we've moved people off of this road, Field Crest, which is now called Thornbury Street. And overwhelmingly, the only people on this road right now are people on bikes. There's a few cars going this way, but it's predominantly bikes. And now everybody else is over here using the highway, which we love to see. Nobody's taking Gardenia, but we've got people on Maryvale, Pearl, Beach, Maple. We even have people on Maple coming this way to drive the highway over here and get down into the port. That's great. That's great. Okay, so we've got this new interchange here, which gives us more opportunity for development there. We have this new interchange here. Seems to be working pretty good. There is this interesting thing happening where people are turning here. Or are those the last... Yeah, this is the last remnants of people that were making that left turn. Okay, so now that that's kind of cleared up, I think that works out pretty well. This is moving nicely. There are no more traffic symbols anywhere over here. We've also got people using our bike lanes that go underneath. There's someone right here. They're going to take this bike path all the way over here. I don't know why they're turning around up here. It's why I gave you this connection, but I'm not going to fight you, I guess. But you're going to ride your bike all the way down this side road, all the way over here. You're then going to cross over this bridge. You're going to come into Marketown. You're going to drive all the way down this way, and you're going to come up here and pull into this post office. You're going to park your bike, and you're going to go. That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, the last change we're going to make today is not going to be road-based, but it's going to be based on our ferries. So if I look at this ferry line, you grab the ferry here, you bring it all the way over here, and you go back and forth between each stop. It's just a lot of movement. It does have some decent usage, I believe. 75 passengers, 12% usage. That's great. There's 11 stops total. I'm going to get rid of it. Completely remove the ferry line. And instead, I'm going to try something a little different. So we're going to grab a small ferry that's going to go from here. It's going to come over to here. It's going to come back over to here. And is it going to connect back over to here first and then go back? I think it will. It'll connect back over to there, and it's going to come back over to here. All right, so we've got a very quick little ferry route. This is actually going to be the longest one. I need to re-add a ferry stop here in the middle. I haven't forgotten. I just haven't done it. Then we're going to have another ferry connection that goes from here to here and back. All it's going to do is serve those two spots. Then this ferry connection, it doesn't really make sense to use them at the moment because there's nothing on the opposing side. But the idea is going to be that we're going to use the ferry connection as bridges to get people from one side to the other, which actually makes me think maybe what we do, remove that. Just have these guys go back and forth, right? So we've got these bridge connections on our ferry, but then we're going to have a much longer ferry line that's going to go from this area, and it will stop at these two. Well, they're so close. It's going to stop there, and stop up here. And then it's going to come right back. Will it stop on the opposing side? I don't think so. It's going to come right back down to here. So now we've got 3 lines. We have one line that's serving kind of the further edges, but then we've got 2 lines that are connecting as if they were bridges. And I want to continue that theme forward as we build out this area and as we build out this area. We've got 2 ferry lines ready to be connected to the neighboring areas across the bridge, across the canal. So I think that works out really well. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.